think I've developed this weird kind of Pavlovian response where anytime I'm streaming, as soon as I click the button to start streaming, I immediately get super thirsty. And I think it's my body saying like, look, we know when you stream, you forget to drink water for a long time. So we're just gonna get really thirsty right now. But so I took a drink of water real fast. Hi, it's me, Scott. I didn't stream all week because I'm doing kind of a jobby job. But I have some time this evening, so let's look at this bird. Yeah, it's a bird, and that's it. That's all. Thanks for tuning in. Let's let's do the thing. So I got some things. I pushed the wrong button. I got some things I was thinking about doing, things I was thinking about looking at. After we find some wallpaper. We've kind of got containers on the brain. You know, the whole world is containerized and everybody loves containers. But I've mostly avoided them. I've not gotten deeply into Docker, except for just some very superficial experiments. But then, I set up that new little server. It's back there. It's doing its thing. And in the process of setting up the Valheim container for the Valheim server, I was like, not so bad. Similarly, yesterday I was taken with the desire to set up a Minecraft server. I set it up in Docker, and also not so bad. So yeah. So anyway, it got me thinking of more things. I have one other like dynamic DNS Docker thing. But anyway, I was thinking about a few things. One is I'm paying Heroku to host Heat, which almost nobody uses, I don't think, at this point. And I'm paying DigitalOcean to host some websites that we already ported to other places. And I should probably not pay both of those places. But maybe I will. So I was thinking originally that I would just ditch having a droplet at all. But it is useful to have a server out there in the world, in addition to the local server, I think. So I'm not crazy about these wallpapers today, I'm going to say it. So I don't know. So what I was thinking is that I hope I did. I tried to back up what I needed off of my current DigitalOcean droplet. That's a good photograph. It's not really what I want to look at, but good job. Good photograph. Clem. Photographer's name is Clem. Now I got distracted by how good that photograph was. Yeah. I tried to back up everything that was on that server, which I think was just a couple of MySQL databases and a couple of directories. And I hope that's true. I hope. Because I want to plan to just click a button in a second, blow away that server. We're really striking out on the wallpaper today, I feel like. I've seen that rose 85 times. I'm not using the tool that we wrote. Would it be better? I don't know. We went through the trouble to write that tool, and then I don't use it because I didn't actually like bundle it up in a way that made it useful. What do we call that thing? What do we call that thing? Projects 2021 streams. I think we call it paste up. Just kind of, it feels slow. I don't think it's slower than the other thing. It's just maybe because it's a command that I run at the command line, it just feels slow. Also not great. I feel like what we want is like something that shows us a bunch of options. Like it gets 10 random photos, and then he's jumping to his death. Goodbye. I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like we did better when our search term was Norway, right? We always knew we got some beautiful Norwegian wallpaper, but I feel like we kind of exhausted Norway in some ways. Should have stuck with that one wallpaper. That was beautiful, even though I didn't want to look at it. There's our rose again. What's a pretty photograph? Lots of cherry blossoms. Cool. Striking out. I need to just make an Unsplash and upload 1 trillion old photos, I think. Maybe that would be an interesting thing to do one day. How would we do that without looking at all of my photos, though? I don't know. Look at those sparkles. Those sparkles just sparkling all over the place. Okay. Well, really, it's just not coming together. The stream, we may just not be able to stream today because I can't find the wallpaper that I need. Let me just level with you. I've honestly been pretty down this week. I mean, I'm down a lot, but more so even than usual because of the giant bomb news. Like that was a gut punch. That 3 of the founding, essentially, not quite, but basically 3 of the founding members of Giant Bomb are leaving. That's just 2 of them are 2 of my favorite people in anything, not just Giant Bomb. And so to hear that that's over, oof. Okay, I think we have actually feels like we hit the rate limit. Because I think I did actually. Didn't I make an API key and go through all the song and dance? I just feel like we used to have better luck with Unsplash, you know? I switched back to this stupid app now. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. It's been weighing really heavily on me. It's a thing, you know, you knew it was coming one day. Let's just go with this. Couldn't last forever. But still sad. It's sad. So a couple things that I want. I believe I backed up what I need from that server. I think. So we've been using this thing, and then we've also been using this thing. Which I never really liked this thing. It just was like, at the time when I set this up, which was some years ago now, seemed, kind of felt like the most expedient way 3 years ago. Oh, it was longer than that. Man, Early Dog's a bad name. Okay. So I kind of want to just delete everything. I want to get rid of this account. I think. Like we've migrated all this stuff. You know what's weird? I thought I was getting errors saying our PHP version was out of date on WordPress. It's kind of weird. It's just a little bit of a weird feeling because I've been, we're on the new site now. So this is the site, and the gallery backend site is where stuff is hosted. So and Kiss and Tell is no longer there. And these things, we went through all this rigmarole with 11T, and that stuff all works. So like, I just don't think we need this anymore. I don't think I want it again. I don't think I'll use WordPress ever again. Kind of want to just, I should have moved this over so it didn't accidentally show personal information, but it seems like it didn't. I think I just want to delete my account. Before you delete your account, you must delete all of your servers. Okay, servers. I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Delete server. Confirm delete. Delete. Oh, that was a little unceremonious. I think I deleted it. I think it's gone now. Didn't they send me an email or something? I think they were glad to see me go, if I had to guess, because I still had a grandfathered plan that was free. So, okay, so that's gone. So now we've got this old image, and I don't quite know what to do about it because I don't know what the right answer is for this. I'm fine blowing this away. I'm almost certain. I'm a little. Okay, let me double check that those backups actually download. I don't think there's anything I need because we got the WordPress exports when we did the thing, and just to be safe, I made MySQL exports, and I also downloaded all the content again. So I think it's okay. But I would feel better if I could download these backups. But you just can't. You seemingly cannot do that. If you make a what if you're charged if you don't have, if you like turn off a droplet? Like, maybe that's a silly question. So I'll still be charged. Okay, but seemingly I can create a snapshot. So I could turn this off and take a snapshot just to be safe. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, goodbye, J38. Server pilot, droplet. So let's turn it off. Let's create a snapshot just so we know we have it. I don't think it will be, I mean, it's 5 cents per gigabyte per month, and it's definitely a few gig. So it's maybe going to be 15 cents a month or something. Kind of lame that I can't just download that though, you know? Why not? That means I'm going to be paying them 5 cents a gig when if I stored it on B2 or something, isn't it like half a cent a gig or something? Why is it taking so long just to turn this off? I don't know. I don't know. Snapchat remain. Okay, you're turned off. Now we want a snapshot that is J38 server pilot 2021 0507. What happened? It may take more than an hour. Is that what this progress bar is? Okay, you're busy. So yeah, so this is, I don't know. They have this apps thing that is like Heroku-ish, but it's so it's crazy. Prototype a basic web app for $5 a month for like running a node process. It's too much. So that's why, that's the main reason I was thinking about containers. I think I got sidetracked earlier because I always get sidetracked. Is if I can just spawn Docker containers of stuff, of node apps that really matter, well, of which I have very few, then I think it'll be okay. Yeah, we don't want this. This sucks. It should be like $1 or charge you $10, but you have as many, you know, whatever node apps that you want under the thing, which I guess is what we're essentially going to try to pay for. Are you still snapshotting? Do we do it? Are we done? Wait, didn't I turn this off? Okay, I was just lying. You know, it would be really lame. I bet it doesn't. But it would be really lame if it was like charges for that 25 gig. So 1 gig of memory is not very much. Like these, I wonder, there really may be a better deal out there. In fact, I'm pretty certain there is. Like, just if we want some hosting, like 1 gig is really, it's a little bit something. $6. Like, what does Reddit have to say? It just feels, I don't know, man. Gig's just not very much. Are these all going to be ancient? Doesn't need to be free. I just want, yeah, I've heard of these two actually. definitely heard I don't know much about Vulture. I'm not even sure I've heard that name, actually. Yeah, the Germany thing, I don't know, but Vulture? I kind of forgot about Linode. Oh, this is years ago, though. I think I had a Linode once upon a time. Very briefly. Compute instances. Bare metal. Block storage. Interesting. So that's 10 gig, 512. Quite cheap. So this is roughly the DigitalOcean equivalent. It's $1 cheaper. So wait, what was the other thing? SSD cloud instances. But what are the other? So that's compute and high frequency compute. So this is the equivalent. Except you get a 32 gig SSD, terabyte of transfer, 1 gig memory. Like, kind of seems equivalent. Doesn't really tell you much about the what the CPU is, which isn't, I mean, cool. Regular Intel. Why am I pay $6 a month? You know what? It's $5 and I think I pay $1 for backup actually. Or is it $6 and I pay I don't know. How much do you cost? So that's what it must be, $5, and maybe it's not that bad, actually. But you got to bump straight to, oh boy. Double your memory is double the price. What if you can do that on the fly? You know, like if you're just like, oh man, we got to do something here. I mean, with what I pay for Heroku and what I pay for DigitalOcean now, this would be that. It would be less than that, I guess, by $1. But it doesn't really tell you what you're getting. Processor-wise. I mean, these really seem pretty equivalent. You get more storage, but for the kind of stuff, I mean, I wouldn't need a lot of storage generally. If I needed a lot of storage, I'd store it somewhere else. So it's really just a question of the performance. Five years ago. Three years ago. It's just, I mean, it's cool that Vultr gives you Geekbench scores. Linode doesn't... More RAM for less money. Monthly comparison. The latest comparison. $5 showdown. Let's give you, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of one core. These numbers are all the same. Light sale gives you more transfer, but charges more if you go over. Container registry. Yeah. I guess if I wanted to go deep into containers in the future, I could DigitalOcean it up. Interesting. Oh, but you can at least get the clock speed. Well, look at these BOGO maps. Going by the BOGO maps, which as we know is a totally reliable and not at all bogus number. I like cache size on these light sales. That's a big number. But Linode has the highest clock speed, it would seem. I wonder how they tested this. Look at Linode. Get Linode go. Ooh, light tail. Slow memory. Those light tail machines. Ooh, light tail. I don't care about MySQL. Linode with the Redis. The $6 showdown. Premium Intel. Still always just a single core here, which of course makes sense. I mean, that's the biggest downside to my brilliant plan. You get up to 2 gig, 2 CPUs here for 15, which is what I'm paying ish, although it'd be faster. Here, like the thing is, if I made anything that needed to be used way more than that, I'd probably just spin it out into the world anyway. I'm thinking specifically about heat right now, of like where and how to store heat. Kind of the nice-ish thing about having it on Heroku is that it is extremely scalable. I don't know that we really set that up properly when we ported it to Heroku. Kyle, how's it going? But, you know, you could imagine if people actually used it, we could just slide some sliders and scale it up. Whereas if we are hosting it ourselves, suddenly that becomes a real annoying thing, but it's also way more expensive. What's the answer? I don't really, at this moment, I don't need a VPS. Kyle, how was your week? What exciting things happened? General purpose. I don't know what this means. This just means slow memory or less memory? Less memory. That's still not bad. Wait, if you need another size that isn't small or medium. Wait, what are the current sizes? Where do you live? Do I know where you live? I don't think you've told me. Is it a secret? A step between medium and big, huh? Well, that seems like a thing that just takes 2 seconds. And so while I'm in the middle of being indecisive, maybe I'll have an epiphany. How's this work? So you're telling me so this is a little annoying. Who wrote this? This is terrible. So we have big, medium, small. What do you want? You want large? Supersize? Large. Okay, so if we make a large, we then need to add large, but also remove. What a pain in the butt. Look at this. Look at this crap. Whereas if we do this, oh boy, this is gonna confuse me. Remove large, add large, remove large, remove large. Okay. Let's put these in the order that they actually are. We should probably just have something that clears them all. Where in the Bay Area? It's a place I kind of always thought I would live in my life, but I've never gotten around to it. And now it is so expensive that I just don't know that I ever will. Okay, small, medium, large, big. Right? Small, medium, large, big, small, medium, large, big, small, medium, large, big, small, medium, large, big. Add big. Big, add big, remove the rest. Large, add large, remove the rest. Medium, add medium, remove the rest. What are those? Just east of San Francisco? Oakland? Isn't that what's east of San Francisco? I loved Monterey so much when I was young, like the area around there. But I'm in the Pacific Northwest now, and it's pretty similar to what I liked about that. So maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Okay, large. Large. 1280. 720. Where in the world have I traveled? Well. Can I drop pins? Is that a thing I can do? Can I just like drop arbitrary pins? Just want to drop pins on a Google map. I thought that's a thing you used to be able to do. Not to do Street View though. That's not the thing I want to do. I want to have like a full, maybe I need to do it on Google Earth. Because there used to be a way that you can make like a list. Can you even do this in the browser? Welcome to Earth. My computer's upset about this. I like... Add to... Okay, let's... This, I'm going to add to project. Okay, here we go. This is going to be great. Okay. You came at such a good time to distract me. So I think I did this. I think this works now. Maybe. Let me refresh it and you can test it if you want. Although then you'll cover up all my very important travel. So I was born here in Amarillo, Texas. Scott traveled here. I'm gonna say Scott, but Scott went here. I don't want to. You have to sign in to make a thing? Lame. Maybe a KML file? Allow. Great. Okay. So, did that actually work? Because it seems like it didn't add it to the project. This is Amarillo, Texas. I don't really want to go there. Very exciting place. Not an exciting place. I grew up, my elementary school. Grew up in this neighborhood. My high school's right here. My middle school's right here. They look so close together when you look at them like this. Go down and check out my elementary school. I don't know how to, yeah, there we go. Amazing. They really messed up. The park used to be way more fun, but way more dangerous, so they got rid of all the fun stuff. Gross. Now there's just like a big dead field where the fun park used to be. Way to go, Ridgecrest. Sad. Uh-oh. Wait. Did I get the order wrong? Did I flip something? Look at that buck bunny. Did that not work? Large. What did I say? Large, width, height. And then in here I said, if you say large, print large, add large, remove big, medium, small. Did it actually... Oh, wait. I refreshed the wrong overlay. Now try. I have too many overlays now. I think I just mistakenly refreshed the wrong one. That large? It's pretty large. Cool. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? We got Amarillo, right? But it seems like to this add, it seems like it didn't add this to my list. Amarillo, Texas. Okay. Great. Where is my list? Projects. Does this seem not good? Doesn't this seem broken? I specifically Select a location. So I said new feature, search to add place. Went to Amarillo, Texas. I'm there. It will not let me click add to project. Why? 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 Does it think it's already there? Seems broken. Seems not very good. The internet's not very good. Editor versus mod? Is editor a permission? Wait, you want me to make you an editor? What am I doing? Or you want it to, you want the thing. Oh, you want Video Monster to use editors and stuff. Okay, how do I do that? I go to community roles. I didn't even know editor was a thing. Editor. Do you get a new cool icon now? Okay. There's no badge for editor? Forget it then. Why bother? What a waste of time. You're wasting my life here. I'm mad at this Google Earth thing now. So how... I presume there's a badge called editor? If there's not a badge called editor, I don't think I can do it, but I would assume that there is. So what do we do? Badges. Okay, will you... Oh my gosh. Ben, okay, listen. Ben, can you please yell at Kyle? Because it's Kyle's fault that I didn't make $10 million. It's really 10,000, but I'm going to pretend it's 10 million. Okay, okay, Kyle, can you just try any command? Just any command with an exclamation point? I just want to see if you get... Yeah, so anyway, Ben, so I made that thing that was Sleepy Keys, and it was fine, and everybody was going to love it. Everybody was going to love it. It was going to be great. And then Kyle rolls in. It's the very first time Kyle visited the channel, in fact, and Kyle was like, oh, you can already do that with this other thing. And so I was so discouraged that I gave up on that idea, and I tried a bunch of ideas that were not as good, and then I just finally gave up on it. And then Kyle rolls in again last weekend and is like, oh yeah, they gave $10,000 to somebody who could like filled a glass of water with channel points. It was outrageous, and I'm outraged. It didn't show you, it only showed you as a moderator and as a founder. Yeah, I know. So basically Kyle ruined my entire life. Whatever. It's fine. It's all fine. So what well, let's see. Badges, Twitch badges. It's weird there's not an editor badge though, right? Isn't that weird? Or is the badge literally the icon? Badges. Admin, bits, broadcaster, global mod, moderator, subscriber, staff, turbo. Yeah, Ben, I took a job for some weeks. It's with Larry and Andrew, which is pretty cool, but it's fine. It's actually fine. The job is fine. I was able to balance it with some other stuff I was doing. So it is pretty interesting, but you know, jobs, gross. I know jobs are gross. They're gross. They're gross, but I did need to make some money to live. Okay, wait. Oh, to like add permissions based on username. It's kind of lame that editor doesn't show up there, that channel roles don't show up in here, huh? Wait, does that mean that an editor is a moderator? Or okay, no, you're both. You're both an editor and a moderator. Okay. All mods are editors, but not all editors are. User type. Use badges instead. Badge info. Yeah, I think I can get the display name. Okay, table that thought, because now you've got me set on this map. So this is your own fault that you caused this. So I blame you. Okay. Amarillo, where I was born and raised. What is this place? It's like a car. Oh, it's a Walgreens. Great. This is the Walgreens where I was born. Looks like the map quality is not so hot. That's the Taco Bell where I was, where I went to school. Taco Bell was my elementary school. There's the KFC, my high school, and back there you see the McDonald's where I went to college. What's that yellow building? Oh, it's a taqueria, and that is where I went to graduate school. Then I moved in the year, I think it was the very end of 1999. I don't think it was the year 2000 yet. I'm having real problems navigating. Is there like a center key? I've rotated the world. Okay. Then I moved to Austin, Texas. Austin's a pretty good place. Maybe I should move back to Austin. Wait, go there. Go to Austin. Go, view, enhance. I don't know how to use this. I'll show you my favorite part about Austin. So I actually really did live really close here. I bet this is like 6th and Lamar. There's no street names. Who knows? Austin looks good. Look at these buildings. Austin looks like a cool video game. I lived... Actually, it looks like it's over here. See this building right here? This is the first Whole Foods. It's not really true. When I lived there, it was across the street. It was right here. But this is my problem, because in my mind, I still think of Whole Foods as like a local grocery store. Because it was, you know, it was like Waterloo Records was right here. Cool record store. I used to go to this gym and teach at this gym. Used to also teach at a gym here, Powerhouse Gym. And then the cool bookstore was right here. It was Book People. I wonder if that's still there. Book people, cool. And this was the Whole Foods, and now Whole Foods is this nightmare monster owned by Amazon. But used to be a thing. But the best thing about Austin is, I'll show you the secret of Austin. Is Barton Springs, which is probably it looks disgusting. And oh no, did they ruin Barton Springs? Oh no. Okay, we're gonna pretend this picture never happened. No, because there's a million people out here. You can see they're like the ghosts of their beach towels. So maybe it's just something weird about the composite pictures. But Barton Springs is one of my favorite places to swim on Earth. Yeah, it doesn't look so good in this photo. I'll admit it, but it's lovely. And you know it's Austin, so it's like probably start swimming in some years you could swim in February. Then from Austin, I went back to Amarillo for a while. The next like major place I lived was probably Minneapolis. I don't live there for that long. I don't think I was there for a year. Lived in Minneapolis for a while. I lived in West Hollywood for a while. I couldn't find Hollywood for a second. Oh, what a mess. Look at this mess. Why would anyone ever live anywhere near this nightmare? Woof. Yeah, so I lived here for a little while. Again, I don't think I lived there for a whole year, though. I lived in... this is actually the place I lived. There's definitely some bouncing for a while. Then I lived in Chicago for a while. Again, not even a year, I don't think. I was in Chicago during the winter. But actually, Chicago is amazing. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. Chicago has like what Chicago is in people's minds, I feel like, from like TV and movies is this. You think, oh, Chicago, sprawling Midwest metropolis. And you forget about this. That it's like, it's basically on the ocean, except it's a lake. And it has pretty nice beaches. Like, I liked the beaches in Chicago. Because you go for a run, and you just go jump in the lake. And I'm a person that much prefers freshwater to saltwater. So, I was super into it. I don't know, maybe if I was quite young, maybe I'd be grossed out now by swimming. I don't know, but I liked it. It was nice. I thought it was really nice. Just go jump in the lake. Like, the city's just right there. It's there, and there's the water. Get right in there. And then they pump all the pollution way out here, so it's further. it's further away. Then I lived in, I think from there I went to Seattle. I'm only really counting places that I lived for like 6 months or more, not shorter times. Seattle's where I went to college. I know, the Sears Tower, Hancock Tower. All those important Chicago and tower. Everything I knew about Chicago before I went there was from Blues Brothers. Where is my college? I feel like when I lived in Seattle, I lived on Capitol Hill, up kind of in this area, and you could kind of look and see the Space Needle, and it was nice. But now I feel like there's a lot more buildings between up here and down there than there used to be. So I don't know. Oh, that's quite so nice. Look at that nice custom handmade model of the Space Needle. Wow. Great work. I haven't quite loaded in at the top, it looks like. There we go. My college. Here? Somewhere? There's a dog park. I don't think I went to college at a dog park. I don't remember there being a dog park there. This has all changed so much, I don't really... I think I went to college here. Yeah, there it is. This dumb building. Really, looks like the Cornish College of the Arts building did not get the loving handmade custom model treatment that much of the rest of Seattle did. But I'm gonna call that fitting. I'm gonna say that's fitting. Willis who? I don't know Willis. Yeah, I maybe made this up. I thought there used to be an ordinance about, like, I thought there were ordinances in Seattle about not obstructing the view of the Space Needle. Maybe I made that up. Or it could be a thing that somebody told me that just wasn't true. But Seattle's a lovely place. It's just so costly. You just cannot buy a house here. I like it a lot. But, you know, even though it has kind of that Chicago vibe of like, oh man, there's a city and there's water, you don't just run and jump in this water. It's just not done. You can maybe go over here to Alki Beach, way over here. But people don't really swim in Seattle because the water's really cold. Put on a wetsuit, go look for giant octopi. Kind of miss Seattle, but it's just too costly. Just can't live there. These are the classics. There's that other model too that people like, but yes, these are the NDR 7506s that have been the best, basically the best headphones since like 1975. When are these from? When were these born? 85. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are from 1991. This is the other one I was thinking of. The MDVR. So these are actually a little older. But I don't think I've ever had a pair of these. Maybe I should get some of these. No, those are these. Wait, where are the... Maybe they're essentially the same? I thought that the other ones had more teardrop shape earpieces. Is that what I searched for? I guess it is. I wanted to search... Wait, no. For this is what I meant to search for. But these had like a more... Yeah, slightly different shaped earpiece. I'm a big fan of these headphones. These are my normal ones. On earlier streams, I've been wearing these Bluetooth headphones that I have. It's getting back to beer garden season, and so I have those noise canceling headphones to help with obnoxiousness. I won those AirPod Pros fair and square for recording those bad covers, so those should hopefully be on the way. I have been thinking of doing some mods to these headphones to. The only thing I actually don't like about them is the cord is so heavy and long, and I just don't need that. And so there's a couple of mods. I don't think I want to go to the trouble of trying to make them Bluetooth, but I might go through the trouble of this mod, just adding a jack. I think that's a thing I would like to do. And I don't think it'll cause any problems. There's two ways to do it. The really easy way is to essentially just snip the cord and add like a dangling, like a little dangling female jack. And then the one that's a little bit more intrusive is this one. But it doesn't seem very hard. Just haven't gotten around to it. Some people do make them do like Bluetooth mods and stuff, but I'm not actually very bothered by wired headphones, generally speaking. It's just that this is kind of heavy. I feel like it's a little more than I need. Did you just show a video? Wait, what was that bonk? Did you just... Oh no, it didn't auto clear? Why not? What did you break? Oh, because it's broken. That would explain it. So what did we do? We wrote a thing that is supposed to, in the YouTube bridge. Yeah. I don't remember how anything works. So we say that on a player state when, oh yeah, we're supposed to call clear. Why doesn't this work? Cannot read property clear of undefined at line 34. Hasn't this always worked? I wonder if it's wrapped in a function that it's ruining the this. This definitely worked before, right? It worked until we added the TTV clip? That's weird. Yeah, but I didn't think we changed anything in here. So we have to pass it a function. Will you play a really short clip? Yeah, this is not defined here. I don't think we broke that, actually. That to me looks like they changed their API to in such a way that that they've wrapped this in a function so that this is no longer valid. So what can we do about that? That's just a guess, because nothing we changed would have affected it, because we didn't touch any of this. That's an annoying problem in JavaScript is like knowing the scope. So we have the event and we have the event target, but how do we talk to ourselves again? I wonder if we could try this. I don't know if this will work. Probably that broke everything. That's weird. It called that event. Oh, maybe we got a state change. Is my this dot correct? YouTube bridge. Okay. I think we can just do this instead. Get it? This. It's a little annoying. Get it? Get it? This. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that to this guy as well. This guy. This. Speaking of, this is... haven't heard back about that processing fellowship, which makes me feel like I didn't get it. Right? I feel like I would have heard by now if I got it. Okay, do you want to... now everything might be broken. So give it a whirl. Try to play a short flip. Okay, I think I fixed it. I mean, I think I fixed this. I'm gonna go look, actually, processing. They probably would have sent me an email saying I didn't get it, right? Right? Yeah, I mean, I don't actually think I will get it, but they would. I would imagine they would send me an unfortunately letter. That's just the early May. Do you think it's still early May? I guess it is. Oh yeah, let me refresh the cops. Okay, refreshed. Anyway. I'm like 7 levels deep on being distracted now. This might be a new record of the most distracted anyone's ever gotten me. You may have stolen Life is Yours' championship belt. We're almost done with the places I've actually lived. I think. Oh wait, you're gonna... a universal clear that'll clear anything? You're killing me. Okay, give me your wish list, and I'll make note of all the wish list, but I don't want to do it right now. So you wanted a text player, all this stuff. Okay, what else is on the wish list? Universal clear. And URL permissions, right? Those are the 2 new things. Killing me. Working me like a dog. Okay. Small and hard to read. So we did these things. URL permissions, universal clear, a text player so you can put text on the screen. YouTube search, volume control, and the auto playlist stuff. Wait, a website? What do you mean a website? What about this dog? Oh, just show any given website? The issue with that is that's an interesting one. The only issue is that lots of major sites specifically put restrictions on what can be done with them in an iframe, because otherwise you could just like make an iframe that totally wrapped whatever CNN.com and pretend it was your website. So we could potentially look at something like that, but I especially like Reddit, I just am not sure. I'm not sure specifically if they do that, but I would be kind of surprised if they didn't, just because that's not everybody wants their stuff embedded. Okay. Then I lived in New York. Really, I lived in Brooklyn, a few different places. I lived kind of... I thought that said Domino Pizza Park, but that's not what that says at all. I lived... Where'd I live? Brooklyn all looks the same. For a while, I lived not far from Prospect Park. this the cemetery? What's this? I kind of forgot now where I lived. Kensington. I lived in a couple of places. I lived in Bushwick for a short while, and then I think Kensington was the name of the neighborhood I lived in later. But I sort of forgot where. I kind of forgot where it is, because all of Brooklyn looks exactly the same. If I could see the train routes, I would be able to tell you. It's also hard because I also, stayed in New York a trillion times for various amounts of time while doing jobs, and I've stayed all over the place. Where did I actually live? Where is Kensington? Oh, I forgot. It was south of Prospect Park. Right. I lived south of Prospect Park for a while. And then if I wanted to, I'd had, I got to run up, go to the park. Later, I lived, or at least stayed for a period, really close to, I think, this entrance to the park. Like right around here somewhere. I think right here, actually. Across the street from a barber. Anyway, yeah. Kensington for a while, and then prior to that, Bushwick. But we'll just say New York City, because, Get out of here, Kensington. Nobody likes you. We're just going to put New York. Add. Two-letter modifiers. Interesting. I mean, we talked about having that, universal, shortcuts. Kyle, when are you just going to learn JavaScript and you just take over for me? And then most recently, I've spent so much time in Pittsburgh. I guess I wouldn't say that I've lived there because any one time, I've probably spent a total of 2 years there, but only 2 and 3 months at a time, sometimes fewer. So I don't know that I would actually say that I live there, but it's close to a place that I would say I lived there. Now I live in Northwest Portland, which is okay. It's an okay place. In this region here. I go to this dog park every day. Gawk at the dogs. No dogs at the dog park on this day. Kind of like the way the trees look in Google Earth. Really weird. So, you're learning by watching. I know, you're basically an expert now. So these are the places that I've lived, but for at least, let's say, I don't remember, months, something like 6 months, where it was okay, this is where I live right now. And not just that I've been somewhere super long for a job or something. Although I really might put Pittsburgh on there as a place. Can I make a new list now that I've made this one, or can I only have one list going? I kind of want to start a new list of all the places I've been, but that would take, I don't know, that would really take a lot. Because I've been a lot of places, and I probably don't remember all of them. And I guess I would maybe try to only include places where I spent the night, because I've also been on a ton of road trips, cross-country road trips. So road trips from Chicago to Seattle, road trips from LA to Amarillo to Chicago, road trips from Amarillo to Austin, and then all the way up the East Coast and down to Florida. So I guess I would only include places that maybe I would even almost only say places that I spent 2 nights. I don't know. Anywhere that I slept. I'd really have to think about it. Probably, that would probably be something like, I don't know. If you counted airports that I've been to, that I laid over in, and any city that I slept in, maybe it would be like 30 cities. If it was any city that I drove through or laid over in an airport, I don't even know. Kind of the same for Europe, but only because of trains. Like, I don't know how many cities I've been to accidentally just because my train stopped there. So I don't know that I would count that. I would probably only count places that I actually remember sleeping. So that's been quite a few places in Spain, France, Italy, only a few in Germany, only one in the Netherlands. Never been to Denmark, a few places in the UK. Been to Hungary. It's really as far east as I've been. I think. Is that what we're called now? Okay. I was about to say, like, is this what we're calling the Czech Republic now? Did the name change and I didn't know it? Yeah, so Europe would be cities in Spain, cities in France, cities in Italy, cities in Switzerland, cities in Austria, cities in Germany, cities in the Netherlands, cities in the UK, cities in Hungary, really just one, probably. Cities in Czech Republic. I think that's it. So maybe like, I never lived there. No, there's times I went on like really long months long backpacking trips, but never like lived there. Because it used to, when you're under 26, Kyle, how old are you? Ben, how old are you? You're under 26. Is it time to, you got to get the deal. The URL pass before you're 26 is such a deal, or it used to be. I don't know if it is anymore. You could just get like a pass that was just like, go ride trains all you want. Oh man, you people are too old. You blew it. You missed the deal. I did it when I was 30 also, and it was fine. It's not that much more expensive. Still a good deal. You just get a URL pass. There's lots of ways to slice it to decide like which countries you can go to and so forth. And then you just get on trains. Stay in a million hostels. But I haven't done that in 10 years. So I don't know. I've probably been to 24 cities. The best one being probably maybe the most beautiful place on earth I've ever been. I don't know if I can find it by sight. There's too many. Is it here? Are these the two lakes? Interlaken. Interlaken might be the most beautiful place I've ever been. And I did something crazy. I stayed at a hostel. I think the hostel was like here? 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 I don't know. Somewhere there's a hostel that's, I think it's around one of these greens, but you can like do a thing where you just go up into the Alps and paraglide, and you just get like strapped to some dude with a parachute, and then you can just glide around for a long time because the updrafts will hold the parachute. So you just glide around forever. And then they just basically drop you off at home. Like, so you go up into the Alps and then you just parachute down and fly around for a while, and they just like drop you off right where you started, and it's pretty awesome. So they like dropped us off. I think it was in this park, and then we just walked back. And on both sides of it, are these two crazy lakes. One of them, I think it's this one, is like has almost no shore. So it's just like 800 feet deep, almost right from the banks. That's an exaggeration, but it's something crazy like that, where it's like very steep and very deep going in. So you can just jump off of anything and jump into it, and it's great and freezing cold and beautiful. That's one of my favorite places in the world. I could see living in Interlaken maybe. Lots of Switzerland has a very very fairy tale quality. I also really like Bern. Just looks like a fairy tale town. I jumped off one of these bridges. I don't know which one. It does not. I think those are really high. I don't think it was one of those. It's probably this really low one right here. This looks like this looks like the coward's bridge to jump off of. So this was probably the bridge that I jumped off, because those are real tall. The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure that was in Bern. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna say that was maybe not a good idea to just like jump off a ridge, because that river moves fast. It was a fast-moving river. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, oh, man, you gotta go do it. Go backpack before you have kids, because then you'll never. The backpack will be a kid. I dated a person that went to school who lived in Northern Ireland for a while, so that's what my first trip was, to see her and then travel around a little bit, and then later went on several different backpacking trips. Switzerland is your favorite? It's pretty good. And then outside of Europe, I've not really traveled that much outside of Europe. I've been to a few places in Mexico. I thought this was the magically fix things button. There we go. Just a few places in Mexico. And only places in Asia I've been I've been to a few places in Thailand, and kind of weirdly, it's a weird trip. Went to see this. I worked for a Crazy Eccentric Millionaire, and one day we were watching the news, because we watched the stock market open every day, and the story came on about how there was a giant python found in the jungles of central Java, and he was like, we should go see that snake. So we did. We went to, I think it was here, Semarang? I don't know. That looks actually bigger than I remember. I think it was outside of, I think we went to Jakarta first, then to Semarang, and then I don't even know where we ended up. Somewhere in here, maybe. I don't even know the name of the place. I don't think they were used to outsiders. It was kind of crazy. Just for like our little group, they like, yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was quite an event to visit this village, and it was a big freaking snake. That was a weird trip. I ate something not good in the jungles of Indonesia and got real sick, and then spent a night very sick on the way back in Thailand in a very nice hotel. And a doctor that didn't speak English came and injected me with something, and then I was all better. So it was great. It worked out great. Yeah, it was a weird thing to happen. I've never been to Ireland proper. I've only been to Northern Ireland. One day I should go to actual Ireland and not, pretend Ireland. That's probably not a kind thing to say. Probably shouldn't say that. It's pretend. Other Ireland. Ireland where they don't use euros. Maybe they do now. I don't know. I don't think so. We're still, that's still part of this kingdom that's united, right? So we're all going to use pounds up here. I don't know. In the last few years, I've been almost nowhere. If we just go by where I've been in the last few years, it's been like Portland, New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then all the other places I've already been. Very exciting. I made a decision. Yes, that's where I've mainly spent the last year. I made this decision early in my 30s, because I used to travel a lot in my 20s, and then after that last really big backpacking trip when I turned 30, I still traveled some, but not really internationally very much, except Mexico and here and there. But because I had decided that, like, I like traveling so much, I should just try to make it where part of my job is traveling. And so I tried to do that, and it kind of went okay. Like, I was thinking like, oh, people will find me, it'll be great. People will pay me and fly me places and pay for my housing, and then I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. The problem is that those tended to not be places that I might have chosen to visit on my own, like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Rancho Mirage, California. Like, just not maybe not the places I would have chosen. So I don't know. I'm so fed up with the US, and I have crazy expensive healthcare now, that I feel like I should move somewhere to like a civilized country with good healthcare. One day I should actually make an effort to map out everywhere I've been. That'd be interesting. But it would mainly be just these cities, and then a lot of less interesting cities that I was like passing through probably. Actually, when I was a kid, it was pretty cool. My dad worked for American Airlines, and so he could get free. My dad worked for American Airlines after my parents got divorced, so we'd go visit him, and he would always want to take us on trips places. But, being my dad, he didn't want to pay money for a hotel, so obviously the solution was to like wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then fly somewhere and then check it out and then fly back at night, so you could enjoy the place but not have to pay for a hotel room. Which, when you're like 9 or 10 is not the most pleasant experience, because you're like cranky and tired and you get dragged. So anyway, I'm very grateful for it. I think it was like a really nice thing that he did, but it just means I have memories of going a lot of places in the US and like being very tired and cranky and getting in trouble and whatever. Yeah, let's go somewhere cool. Here's the problem with Canada. Number one, nothing. Canada's perfect in every way, except for all the ways that it's like kind of not perfect. But it's not easy to just decide you want to live there. But even if you did, there's this whole problem where the housing market in Canada is so insane right now. It's like, where I saw a good infographic of this, like Canada relative. That's not how you spell Canadian, but you can figure that out in Google. Like relative to other countries, like housing in Canada is just outrageous. It's just like astonishing, especially Vancouver, which of course would be the obvious place to move. It's just crazy. So I don't know what to do about that. I thought there was a way better chart that compared a lot of other countries. Anyway, if you want to own a house in Canada, where It's maybe not feasible. Oh yes, is this it? House prices. Okay, Germany. Okay, a little uptick in Germany. That's not the greatest. Oh, Ireland's got a little dip. The U.S. big, and then we kind of crashed, and now we're back up to 2001-ish. Or that's where we started actually. So we're whatever that was, 2005 to 2008-ish. We're creeping back up there. Britain, France, not great. Austria was really bad. Dipped, went up, but Canada is just, ooh. So that means housing prices in Canada are over 250% of what they were in Q1 of 2000, which is like crazy. Yeah, I know. I mean, what if you lived in a place where you could afford a house? I know of one of those in the US that you might actually want to live. It's tough. Actually, I was looking at another chart recently that was about like income and housing, like housing as a percentage of income in the US, of the median income. No, but we need to like buy. Anyway, I think they had a worldwide chart actually. I mean, yeah, you could live in a suburb of McAllen, Texas. Lowest cost of living, you could live in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. I don't think so. But this was not just lowest cost of living. It was lowest cost of living relative to the local income. I can't remember exactly what the approach was. Anyway, Rochester, New York was... Pittsburgh was actually on that list as like a place that, yeah, it's a few years old, but like in 2.5 years, Buffalo was on that list. So lots of like upstate New York places, and like, you know, slightly, lots of Ohio actually, Western Pennsylvania and Ohio. Ben, if you can, so here's the thing. You can live in one of these cities, and if you make the median income, you could buy a house in 2-ish years. Versus if you live in, you know, like Seattle, where it would take 5 years. Look how bad Los Angeles, San Francisco, take 10 years of relative to your income. Or the real trick is to move one of these places, but still try to work remotely and make the income of one of these places, right? I think that's the real trick. That's what Draclin was going to do. I think he kind of gave up on that plan, though. What were we even talking about at the beginning of this? I don't even have any containers. We were going to make some Docker containers. And we were waiting. Actually, maybe this is great, because we were just waiting for... that snapshot, that DigitalOcean snapshot to happen. And now we've wasted an hour and a half. I accidentally have a tiny bit of cryptocurrency. It's not on purpose. It's an accident. Yeah, I know. It's pretty impressive. Like I was like 7 levels deep on Distracted. Okay, did this snapshot actually happen? Created an hour ago. Great. So this was done an hour ago, and we've just been Cool. So I think we're going to destroy this container. And I think we can keep the snapshot. Yeah, we'll keep that snapshot. I think I downloaded everything. We're going to keep the snapshot just to be safe. Okay, so here's the real question that we were trying to decide. Yes, that was our first distraction, was trying to decide if we wanted to keep using. Oh my gosh, Ben, you're rich. I don't know, Ben was rich. Why are you working? So yeah, we were trying to. This is what we were looking at. We were looking at this showdown just to see if while we were at it, it would make sense to switch to. Something other than DigitalOcean, which the thing that's annoying is we still will have this snapshot at DigitalOcean, so I'll be paying them like 15 cents a month or whatever it is, whatever stupid thing. Well, that's okay. I don't know. Is this like I want like an overall view. I don't know. How much do I care? Do I care at all? Because if I wanted to, what we would need to do is we'd need to set up a Redis container. This is if we wanted to migrate heat over. And then we could migrate that away from Heroku, which is $7 a month. Host it here instead and be able to host other things. The problem is this would not scale at all. It would be a disaster of scaling. The first thing that would probably break down would be the I don't know what would break down fast. Maybe Redis? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just saw a ghost. You know what happened? I said Docker 3 times. I said Docker 3 times and invoked the ghost of binary C. I am shocked. You're like you're like the Beetlejuice of containerization. Binary C, you haven't said a word in 2 years? you haven't said a word in 2 years, and then the one stream where I start talking about containerizing, wow, you have really been biding your time. I am extremely impressed. I was even thinking about you today while I was looking at container stuff, wondering I wonder, it's been about 2 years since Binary C was like sucked into a container Tron style, where he's been trapped in a container for 2 years. Really? You haven't been doing any? I thought you just sat in your apartment all day and just made containers. Sat in your beautiful brick wall apartment all day. Binary C, I've missed you. I'm very pleased to see your name again in chat. I'm astounded to see it, in fact. Mm-hmm. Kyle, you're a pro with that. Very good. Very good editorial role you're using there. I've been working on a thing. I think I can show this. I don't think it's all the way up. But so, you know, we've talked about my friend David, who's been making Cosmic Sugar, and I've been helping him. And so I made high score as a viewer of it, and it's pretty cool now. I think it's not fully up yet. That's wrong. But I made it where, like, you know, he's got this really beautiful, impressive, like, VR particle system painting tool, and I made like a web gallery viewer with 3GS. And this is like, I don't know, 4 million particles at 60 frames per second. It's pretty good. You can do stuff with particles in 3GS that Unity does not support, which is pretty lame. I wonder if I could build that into Unity. The problem is it would have to, I don't know, maybe DirectX doesn't support it, and that's the problem. That's why they won't do it, because it wouldn't hit all of their targets. But OpenGL, what is this? ES2 will do it. All versions of OpenGL will do it. It's this crazy thing where you can render GL points, which is like the fastest thing, but you can also texture them. I'm a fan of 3GS. It's definitely good for that. So yeah, so this is now, I've been working with David to build export into Cosmic Sugar. So in VR, you can paint these beautiful, fanciful things and then be able to export them to this web viewer. Anyway, he just messaged me, is why that came up. So yes, okay, great. Binary C, perfect timing that you're here. Maybe. I don't even know what I'm doing. I have gotten a little bit of the containerization bug. I've been containerizing some things. And I just want to, you know, for a while I was hosting everything on Heroku, which you get partial uptime. Then I was hosting things on Glitch, and there's problems there. And then I used Docu for a while, but it's kind of annoying. And then I've been using Docker with Docker Compose lately, and was thinking like I should just make a really minimal Docker image that will let me just wrap any Node.js app. So I was spinning down an old droplet at DigitalOcean, and I was just trying to decide, like, do I want a DigitalOcean droplet for this? It would not scale well, but if I really needed to, so what I was thinking about before I got distracted 10 times over was if I wanted to use their Redis, but their Redis is $15 a month. I don't really need it. I don't think I need it. Whoa. Oh, I see. That's only if you use this thing. Interesting. I'm confused though. They changed the pricing on backups. That sucks. I should not have deleted the old droplet, I guess. That's more our VPS Showdown. This says backups are $1 a month. I feel like I'm getting robbed here. I wonder when they change that pricing to 20% of the droplet price instead of $1. Which, how does this work? That's not right. Wait, is there other stupid stuff turned on for this droplet that's making it expensive? Binary, do you have any preference between services like DigitalOcean and Linode and Lightsail and UpCloud? I never even heard of UpCloud. Kind of feel like DigitalOcean, even though in some ways it feels like the most commonly talked about player, it feels like they're not the best, like at anything. I feel like, was DigitalOcean at the top of anything? Maybe here. JavaScript on edge workers. Wait, is that thing? What's that thing? Amazon, that wave thing? What was that thing called? Wavelength? This thing? Or is this a different thing? I was thinking of this thing because there's another there's oh yeah. Yeah. What is that? But is it their app thing? The Cloudflare app thing? What is their thing called? Just workers. So is that just like web functions? Those are just like lambdas, right? Like AWS lambdas? Or is this different? Serverless functions. I think I think it's basically the same thing, right? Oh wait, so these have an object store? I don't think lambdas have an object store unless you separately use one of 800 other stupid Amazon services. Oh, interesting. I feel like I'm into B2. I feel like B2 is my place to put data of choice at this moment. Pretty into it. Okay, so interesting, but no. I wonder. I haven't. Is it? Do you think it's fast enough? The store, because I use Redis like Elasticache, so it's more of a cache than like a store, you know? Like it's got to be real And how do I do the broadcasting? Because I need to like tell, you hit one. Okay, how'd this work? I need like a pub sub. Oh, is that what this is? Is that literally what this is right here? No, that's publish a thing. I need like a pub sub kind of setup still, which maybe they have. Cache. No, not that kind of cache. I need like okay, so this is their data store. Yeah, but it's just that, so the way, and it could certainly change, like the way Heat worked previously was, well, there's a bunch of stuff. Most of it really could be lambdas. That's true. Oh, I was about to, oh, look at this. Look at this. How does that work? Yeah, so the way Heat currently works is all data that comes in just comes in through posts. So that would be exactly the same, right? Like there'd just be some endpoint that got hit. It's not even a post, it's a get, because all the data is in the URL. Actually, I think it is a post actually, because there's a bunch of stupid AWS, Twitch authentication stuff. But the broadcaster needs a persistent connection of some kind. So the way it currently works is that when any data comes in, it whether it either way that it comes in, it gets published to Redis in a way that then anybody connected to any other node on the WebSocket side immediately gets the event. Which maybe you can do this, but it needs to, those are set to auto expire. Like it does all the Redis stuff. I would kind of imagine you could do that kind of thing, I guess. No, I'm actually, I would love to do something like this for Heat and not need, because like Heat, in fact, yeah, I think if I could, I need a persistent connection with WebSockets, which seems like this supports. The thing that I just want, which I don't immediately see, but maybe is here, is the idea of like, and maybe that's really, maybe the events actually do it. But I want anybody, so somebody hits a URL that has like the click coordinates, and then that needs to be immediately broadcast to everybody who's connected to to the WebSocket endpoint, basically. Like everybody connected here would want that data. And I don't really need to store objects. I don't really need to if there's just something like Redis. There's just something like a fast, a fancy cache. Free. That's a lot of requests. Okay, so this KV land. So what I would like is to not have to maintain that. You need to write relatively infrequently, but read quickly and frequently. I write pretty frequently. In fact, there'd be way more reads than writes typically. But maybe that's not what I need, because I don't need to persistently store anything. Redis is only so that I can have all, at least currently, with all of the Node.js servers can scale up. So I can just run the exact same Node.js process, whatever, 100 times, which I had during that one stream when Twitch used it, and there were like, I don't know, 15,000 viewers or whatever. I scaled it up quite a bit. So everybody was connecting. It was all load balanced where everybody was hitting, right? But all of those individual nodes needed to be able to communicate, because the WebSocket could have connected over here, like the broadcaster could have connected over here, but they need to know what's going on all these other nodes. And so the cache was there just as Redis was there. And it wasn't even Redis, it was Elasticache, but it's functionally the same. I think it is the same, actually. It's just so the data from all the nodes funneled into one place, basically. Not one place. Any broadcaster connected to any node would be sure to get it no matter where on the front end the data came in. Because ideally, I'd want that totally decoupled. And it's sort of entangled. Yeah, I over-explained that. But yes, common cache for load balancer, yes. But I would ideally, that would be a little more decoupled, where the incoming was like totally separate and scalable, because it's always going to need way more traffic than the broadcaster side, which is going to be, you know, a fraction of the front end incoming traffic. But, you know, that was lots of clicks per second. So something that's, it was very, in that case, it was very high write and comparatively low read. But I don't, maybe there's a way to do it. Like, I don't need any persistence. I don't care about persistence at all. So even if, for example, if their event system had some like ability to broadcast across all workers or something, then I wouldn't care. Cool. I've just never, anytime I've done anything like that, that's something that needs to scale for an audience, I've always used Redis for it. In fact, if you use Socket.io, that's just what they natively, there's like built-in support for Socket.io, whatever it is. The Redis adapter is what it is. That's like the sort of supported recommended way to add that. Because then any number, you know, for a chat server or whatever, like any number of people being able to send messages around, but the messages don't need to persist server side. They just need to get to everybody. I wonder, and I kind of wish I hadn't added Socket.io support to Heat. It's there, but it also supports raw WebSockets now. But if there was just a... So I assume a request is anytime anybody... I just want like pubs, some kind of pub sub thing. Which it seems like you could build on top of the KV land, but it seems like maybe not the right thing. And I could be way lazier with the pub sub, the Redis pub the Redis pub sub, because it automatically would clean up after itself. I wonder if there is, do they have anything like you know, because all these other services offer Redis. I just don't know if there's some... Maybe Cloudflare has some thing. Well, that's interesting. Built with Workers, Redis Cache Pro. WebSocket. Yeah, this is interesting. I've never actually seen anything like this. That sounds great. That sounds great. How do you publish to all of those people all at once? So we can upgrade our WebSockets. Great. That's good, actually, because I have new tricks here that are good tricks for namespacing. You know what? Actually, Binary, this may be like the answer to... So I was earlier talking about how I applied for this Processing Foundation grant. This would be the way to do it, probably. Is there a sick demo in here? Wait, is there a demo on this page? Demo. Demo. Very good. Look at these clicks. Wait, does that if you connect to this, will I also get your clicks? Is that what this demo is saying or no? Is this like a totally isolated thing? I want to see your clicks. Show me. Anyway, this even if this isn't right for heat, this actually could be amazing for this other. I need some kind of pub sub though. That's the thing is I need to get. I need WebSockets to cross communicate. It is quite stateless, it's true. Yeah, I thought we were going to share clicks. But maybe durable objects? Ooh, live chat. That's what I want. This demo. My name is Scott. The room name is Scott. Can you join my chat? Hello. Hello, test. Who are you? Or are you here? Okay, so this is done with durable objects. Wow. Cool. Binary, you might have just saved the day if I get this residency or this fellowship. How much does it cost, though? It's usually you get a lot of requests. Okay, so we care about durable objects. Sounds like the thing we care about. I lost the documentation. Wait, where did it go? Cloudflare says it. No, it was you. You've been waiting for 2 years to just jump in and tell me. I need a drink of water. I'll be right back. So the only thing, and I'm sure it's fine, I'm sure it's manageable. I mean, obviously they have a solution because chat is that's basically the thing that needs to happen. Is okay, they are in beta, but anybody with a worker subscription. So we could maybe have a namespace per Twitch channel. So the thing that I'm just wondering about is like who's responsible. I guess we could look at that chat thing and figure it out. Like, you know, once a once a chat message is entered, who's responsible for saying like, oh, I got it? Is it just a timestamp thing? How does it get cleaned up? Maybe things eventually expired, but let's see. We can get things and we can put things. But what if you want... Cool. I've been doing... My serverless functions right now are on Netlify for free, but I think that just sits on top of AWS Lambda. Do you use any... Do you have any VPS subscriptions? I think I asked you that earlier, but I may have missed. Like DigitalOcean or Vultr or any of those? Yeah. So this seems pretty promising. There's some housekeeping stuff that I don't think I understand. So the demo's here, but where's the announcement of the demo? This thing. I want to see this. What is MJS? This file's too long. That means it's hard. It's actually mostly comments, so maybe it's not that hard. Okay, so what you're telling me... This is my cup coaster that I 3D printed. It's very exciting. That makes sense. A thing that I need that I kind of, I don't know. Maybe actually you might have a, oops, why did I switch here? The, have you ever used ngrok? So sometimes, you know, I make things for the Children's Museum in Pittsburgh, and I'm just talking to other museums. And sometimes I want to be able to like get into these machines to do stuff on them. But of course, they're like behind whatever firewall they're at or whatever museum. And so I've done stuff like this in the past with manual SSH tunnels. But this time I used ngrok for one, and it's pretty cool, but it's kind of expensive for what it is, which is just an SSH tunnel. So I was looking to see if there were any like self-hosted options, but maybe I should just use bare SSH tunnels. Yeah, the only issue is I need them to be like aggressively persistent so that no matter what, they will come up, you know, and like ideally they retry or whatever. I guess I can just write a script. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, sure. Like port 80, so you know it's open. Probably, that they probably allow port 80. The issue is like, I need it to never go down. So I'm sure somebody's figured that out. Oh yeah. How to keep SSH connections alive. But I specifically want tunnels kept alive. Because I need them, you know, oh, this is a 10-year-old post. I felt, I could certainly write something to do it, but it just felt like a thing that people probably do. But maybe they don't. I just need it to always be up. Auto SSH. Is that what I want? Auto SSH. Monitor and restart SSH. Well, look at that. Is this exactly the thing I need? Okay, maybe all my problems are solved and I don't need some other posted version. Okay, so This is like the plot twist of the century. One, I said the word containers 3 times, and binary C appeared in a cloud of smoke. And then his first message, shockingly, was don't use containers. Don't use cloud workers instead. This is pretty weird. This would be like if Jesus came back and Jesus was like, yeah, don't whatever it is Jesus was into. If Jesus came back and was like, let's not take care of the poor and sick. Which would probably work pretty well for like contemporary American Christians, but be kind of aligned with their current values. But it's just sort of a shocking thing for a person who, in my mind, is like the Messiah of containers to come back preaching some other gospel is kind of outrageous. Okay, so we don't care about this thing. We only care about this thing. We were trying to look at the source code, and then I got distracted yet again. So it's good to reinvent yourself over time, I think. It's good to you don't want to be fixed in time, you don't want to be fixed in space. Oh, I didn't expect this, actually. That's funny. It also hosts the web page. I guess that makes total sense that it could respond with a website, but that's funny. I just would not have thought of doing that with a worker. I like this trend that you're going to disappear for 2 years, and then in 2 years you're going to come back and be like, no, the new thing is like you don't even you're still using workers. I'm going to use workers. We used whatever the future thing is, mind nodes. We just like jack directly in people's brains. You don't need any of this stuff. Either that, or it's going to swing back hard in the other direction, where it's going to be like, no, it's all bare metal. It's all co-located servers. It's the only way to be pure, man. Any otherwise, Facebook's going to get you. Okay, how does this actually work? Does anybody know? I just want to know how the I kind of hate this. Okay, if we get an API request, so the durable object for this room. Okay, that's what I was curious about, is if you create a durable object for a specific room, then my kind of question is like, how do you know when to destroy it? I guess when nobody else is connected. Okay, this is our durable object. But it says it implements a durable object, but it doesn't extend. Is that weird? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe they just mean it's kind of like an interface, sort of. Are you ready, or we just got to do it? I will say I have been having like a sort of a low level renaissance. I kind of blame it on Ben, actually. Is Ben still around? Ben's probably gone. No, that's a ES6 thing. No, Ben, it's your fault for making me watch Handmade Hero. That led me to bit rage. Why are we bit raging? I bet it is Backblaze, pause, Backblaze. Okay. Backblaze stole all my bandwidth. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Yes. So first of all, it's Ben's fault because Ben, it started it's halfway Ben's fault. It started with Ben making me watch Handmade Hero, and then me also watching hardware stuff. To now, this is, let's see, what have I been watching lately on YouTube, just to show you how far I've fallen. Ben was the gateway drug. Handmade Hero was the gateway drug, and then this is now where I am. Real slow indication, Google. Probably gonna see something embarrassing in my YouTube history. Almost certainly. No, so I've been watching like all these series. Yeah, this one. I've been watching someone like from scratch implement a 6502 emulator in C++. Actually, I watched this person do it, and I think they did an okay job, but then I watched this other guy do it, and I think he did a much nicer job. It's pretty good. I'm watching all that. I've also been watching all these. What was that other guy's name? The like very anti this guy, Brian Will, very anti object oriented programming guy. It's funny to watch his arc though, because he almost comes back around to object oriented programming. I mean, I also just watched somebody build, they got this like, yeah, this little homemade, it was more like home assembled 6502 computer. Actually, that's the Ben Eater streams. You want to build a computer, Ben Eater's been building his computer. Oh, he's got a new video. Oh man, amazing. He's been building.
So ever since I up.
This is his computer. It's very good. It's very fast. It runs at probably dozens of hertz. You can do dozens of operations per second. It's pretty incredible. It does have some output. He did build a terrible video card for it, which I think he calls the world's worst video card, but he built it from scratch, and it's pretty good. Are you afraid of him? Like he's gonna get you? Ben Eater is maybe a slightly unfortunate name, but the guy who did the 6502 streams, his name is Dave Pooh, and that seems to be his actual name. But actually, so ES6 supports class extensions. I don't think it's that weird in JavaScript. The only reason I thought it was weird is it says chat room implements a durable object, which to me makes it sound like it would. But I guess that you would say extends. So it's almost like there's a durable object interface that you have to conform to, I guess. And since obviously there's no interfaces in JavaScript, they just say it this way. Oh man, I have been doing my new favorite thing, Ben, in Unity. So I hadn't done much with native arrays because I don't really use jobs. Although I'm getting towards it, moving towards that. However, I've gotten really deep lately into this crazy pipeline, which is my new favorite. My new favorite Unity pipeline is to like get raw texture data and then like cast it to a different data type and then do weird stuff to it and send it to a compute shader and then send it to a shader to do insane things. But you can get the raw texture data as a native array, and then you can do whatever you want to the native arrays. Like you can just turn them into some other data type. You can be like, oh, that was a float 32. Well, it's not anymore. Now it's whatever. Or like change the way things are structured. It's pretty good. And it's so fast. It's so like for serializing things, if instead of doing stupid serialization in like stupid slow C# serialization, if you can just manage to get everything into a native array and then do the magical trick to turn the native array into a byte array, whatever that trick is, reinterpret. You can just reinterpret whatever you have as an array of bytes and then just write that to a file in one, system IO, write all bytes and just write it at once. As long as you can start in a native array, you will serialize so fast. I can serialize 4 million points that are 32-bit floating point coordinates. So it's like 96 bits per coordinate 4 million times. I can serialize that in like 0.2 seconds if I do it this way. It took like 13 seconds to do it with the normal like .NET serialization. Oh, Ben, are you still having a bad 2020.3 time? I need to get into jobs. I kind of haven't needed to because I feel like most of what I want to do with jobs, not quite. In fact, actually, Unity breaks some stuff, but you get so much if you just switch to tasks from coroutines. They're just kind of implemented in a goofy, weird way in Unity that I still don't think I fully understand. I think they've written up how they do it, but for like running things in parallel and splitting things up, all that stuff is kind of already in task land. It's just, I think Unity has their own implementation of underneath the hood how async and await works that maybe is not quite to spec, but it's still pretty good. Oh, really? We were originally, for the new project I'm on, was supposed to be 2020.3, and then the project is to implement an SDK from a third party, and seemingly at the last minute they said you should use 2019-4. Okay, where were we? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I haven't really streamed all week, so I forgot how. I don't know how. What we learned today. We killed our droplet. We owe DigitalOcean 15 cents. I hope everything still works, right? We moved all this elsewhere. This all doesn't care anymore. Yeah, it doesn't care. So the thing we were trying to figure out was, so they've got this durable object that represents the room. The thing I just don't understand is the life cycle. Okay, this is important. I want to know this. I like this definition and references thing they added to GitHub. It's actually really good. The 2019, most of what I'm doing in Unity currently, 2019.4 is fine. The shader graph is just better in 2020. It's much more explicit about what happens in vertex land versus fragment land, so you have more control. But otherwise, there's not really any 2020 feature I care about. Yeah, dots feels like, I don't know, man. Unity is sometimes so... I was thinking yesterday about how bad the animation system in Unity still is, and how if you just want to play an animation, say you just want to play an animation and know when it's done, either you have to use the legacy animation system, which they explicitly tell you not to, and they're like, use Mecanum, and you're like, okay, you want me to use Mecanum to play an animation and know when it's done? Awesome. How do I do that? Well, it's like, okay, well, you got to set up a state machine, and then you got to set up all these connections and have all these conditions for the transitions, and then you need some kind of trigger, and then in your source code, like the source of the trigger, you want to like fire a trigger, and that's going to set off some state that you have no idea what it's doing, and you have no idea what's going on, but somewhere in there it's going to play an animation, and you can go manually in a finicky way place an event in that, and then it's going to call some arbitrary function that is totally unrelated to anything you were doing. And it's in the old Unity way of doing things, where Unity just magically from heaven decides to call functions even if you didn't subscribe to something, and so they just have done whatever weird reflection things they do to decide to call your function. And then of course, that function they call has nothing to do with the code you're running. So you're just like spinning in a coroutine, waiting for a bool. It's so bad. I was going to maybe try this weekend to like write a way that wasn't terrible, but I don't know how to do it in less than, it feels like it takes 100 or 200 lines of code to build some add-in that's not bad. That doesn't do it in a bad way. Yeah, but binary, but it's still better than most of the alternatives because the alternatives all suck too. I like Unity. I still like Unity. I still like it. I like WebGL too, but there's just lots of cases where you really benefit from having an authoring environment, especially for like, yeah. Authoring environments are good. There's also just really dumb stuff. I keep getting, everybody still thinks they want WebAR and they don't understand that WebAR doesn't exist. It's not like a spec. There's like 2 companies who have proprietary things that you can pay to do it, but there's no WebAR spec. And so you have to, pay 8th wall or whatever to do it. Yeah, performance, I'm on the fence about, because there's a lot of cases where there's at least an alternative way to do something that is faster, even if like the normal prescribed way is slow and terrible. Like with a scriptable render pipeline, like you kind of have the option to say like, I'm just going to write my own renderer, basically, like you kind of have the option to build something custom and fast if you need it. So that's pretty cool. And the same for animation, frankly, is like, yes, I hate Mechanum and Legacy Animator, and like Unity's like, fine, take the Playable API and write your own thing. Which we did on that other project. But so I appreciate that for most of the things in Unity, there is, even though 90% of it's experimental, there's some lower level way to do a thing faster. But yeah, that's actually probably the thing that bothers me most about Unity, is how much stuff, of course, is still just experimental. Oh, editor performance. Interesting. I wonder why. They did that big, but 2019.4 is okay for you? Because didn't they do the big editor overhaul in 2019.3? I didn't realize they had... Have they touched the edit? I mean, I know they're doing the whole new thing with whatever. UI elements, which they renamed. But I didn't know that I guess I hadn't noticed the editor being much slower. It's true. It's hard. I mean, it publishes a lot of places. It goes a lot of places, and that is very convenient. I guess performance, I'm mostly okay. Maybe I'm just used to it. The performance that bothers me the most is just how slow IL2CPP is. Often. Like on this machine, it's almost unusable. And I think it's Windows security stuff, even though I've tried to disable or whitelist or whatever. But IL2CPP builds on this computer are obscenely slow. Okay, all I want to know is, how do we broadcast? So we just go through the sessions, which presumably those are all the WebSocket sessions. Yes, and we just send a message. Though that seems easy enough. So who actually calls this? That's what I want to know. Like, that means something has gone into the data store and somebody is saying... So I want to find all references. So that's when someone's joining. So that's, yeah, this must be the send? No. Where do you think the actual broadcast of... Yes, this message. So whose job is this? This doesn't seem like what I want. No, that was just the join. What was it called? I'm confused. Construct the sanitized message for storage and for broadcast. That's interesting. Oh, maybe this is really smart. Are the sessions also all in a durable object? That would be smart. That'd be a smart thing to do. No, it's just, it is. Oh, that solves all of the problems. Binary, that solves every problem. Blender's game engine. Didn't they add another one? I thought they were working on one again. Blender blows my mind now because now it's just every program, which seems great. Like it would be great, or maybe that's terrible. I don't know. Blender, I've said this multiple times and I need to give it another try. I probably haven't tried it in like 5 years, but the last time I tried Blender, it felt like it was, the UX was created by a person who had never used a computer before and just like had no idea that there were any conventions to how you should interact with the computer. But if that's all you used and you did your video editing and your compositing and your 3D rendering and everything else, you did all of that in Blender, then I'm sure you could get used to it. Should I do it? I let my LTS, not LTS, my whatever. Whatever their light version, LT. I let that expire this year because I just have not been doing much modeling. Yeah, my LT. Which I kind of like, but I just don't use it enough to justify the cost. If I really need something for a project, I can just get like a monthly license for that or Cinema 4D, or just use some old license of something I have. I've gotten, it's like, I feel like most of the stuff I've been doing in most of this year, really, since very early in the year, I've just been procedurally generating geometry, and then I don't have to model it. It's how you don't need a 3D modeling package if you do all your models procedurally. I should try it. One day, you know, I've spent a lot of time on this stream showing how bad I am at Maya. So I should probably spend some time floundering in Blender. The thing that's a little weird about this is I don't understand whose job it is to create this, because the sessions, I guess the first person who joins a channel probably creates it and then it exists, but who cleans this up? Like, who cleans up a chat room? Like, where does this even get created? Nowhere? Oh wait, is this some dumb thing where it's like exported as a different name? No, it's export class chat room. But then there's somehow no references to this? References. Oh, you think this is this is probably set on the that doesn't quite make sense. I was going to say, like, do you set this on the... Do you, like, tell Cloudflare that this is your durable object somehow? But that seems weird. How is there no references to this? I use Fusion for 3D printing, but I've been getting more into, like, CAD kind of stuff for like fixture and part design. Oh, I want to get more into that. I need more physical jobs, less virtual VR and AR jobs, which is like where almost all my money has come from for 6 years. How do programs work? Does anyone know how computers work? How how does anybody know about that class? Is there some secondary thing that says, first of all, what was it called? I already forgot. Is there something here, like some setup file that tells you? Yes, it's this. Interesting. So they do have a rate limiter built in, which is something I never properly... We have a really rudimentary rate limiter in Heat. Okay, I think I get it. I think I get it. So I think I get... Yeah, that's fine, actually, because if data was coming in for Heat, this would be better, actually. If data was coming in for Heat and nobody cared, it would just get thrown away. There'd be no reason to store it. There'd be no reason to do anything with it. So you'd only care if there was a rooms, which is what the durable object would be. So that's at the environment level, I guess. So does this mean we want a new? Yeah, so this is how you create a room. I wonder who destroys a room. Like, whose job is it? Is it just last person to leave turns out the lights? Binary C, you really altered the course of this stream, but in a like productive way, unlike Kyle and Ben, whose job is it to destroy the room? You know, somebody has to destroy the room. You can't just leave the room around. So this is about getting rooms. We can have this rate limiter, which is actually awesome. So yeah, does nobody destroy a room? Maybe they just didn't implement that for this demo, but that seems like a weird oversight. Whose job is it to destroy the room? Or maybe you don't care. So the way this works is pretty... Oh, yeah, maybe in that other file there was something... That's a good question. Was there something in that... I mean, nothing obvious, but maybe there's something, or maybe that's something that's configured server side. I don't know, like some expiration. So I think I'm a little confused about something. Let's think about for a second how this works, because we almost have a chat room that's only one way, and the source data comes in from HTTP requests, which is fine. I think we can still do that because we could still look for the appropriate room in the durable object, and if it existed, we would use it and we'd send data to it. So that still seems okay. And then then the sessions are also part of that room. So everybody who would be listening, I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around is, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It's totally decentralized then. So here's what's cool about this. Yeah, no, this is... Okay, so you think there's something that auto-destroys? That could be. So here's what's cool about this, is you don't... I'm trying to decide if this is actually better or worse for performance. So what we had with Heat was we had, like, you know, front-end code that's just getting HTTP requests and doing Amazon, all the dumb, or whatever, Twitch authentication. And then over here we had the WebSocket stuff that was listening for stuff. And they did not interoperate. There was a whole layer in the middle that was Redis, right? And so the front end's job was to just cram stuff into the Redis side, and then that got listened to. And so, and that weirdly enough was the most expensive part when it was hosted on AWS. The Elasticache was like by far the most expensive part of it, weirdly. In this case, anyone who connects literally has a reference directly to the WebSockets of who's ever connected for that channel, and it gets piped directly to them. So there's no like, oh, we got to store, we have a click and we have to store that click. That's not what's in the durable object. The durable object literally stores the WebSocket connections. And so it's one in, one out. Like, that probably doesn't scale beyond a certain point, you know, like beyond a few hundred or a few thousand people. I mean, that was a problem with Heat anyway. Like, you're gonna like saturate the, once you got into tens of thousands of viewers, you'd probably saturate the WebSocket connection, or the broadcaster's WebSocket connection. So at that point, you'd want to rewrite it so that it wasn't direct, and you use a durable object that like stored blocks, you know, like here's all the clicks from the last 1 second, and you would just send updates every second or something like that. Or like get really fancy and have separate workers. Like you'd have separate cloud workers that were like going through and being like, these clicks were really close, let's just put them together or whatever, you know, like that would cheat. But normal Heat couldn't do that. So I don't think we even need to worry about it here. No, you're right. You're very right. If anybody's going to scale, it is Cloudflare. So, okay, just to be clear, I think this is cool for Heat, but you know, Heat does have a little niche. There are people who like to use Heat, but it's like, you know, tens of streamers. It's not hundreds, and those streamers probably only have tens or dozens of viewers, not thousands or tens of thousands. So I'm not as worried about it from Heat, but this thing that I proposed for the processing foundation, this is perfect for that. I think this is perfect for that. It would all depend on the cost, I guess. So I looked at pricing and then I 1000% just forgot what it said. So 100,000 requests, 1,000 requests per minute. I mean, that would certainly go away pretty quickly. Wait, is there something different from the... Oh, does WebSocket have different pricing? Did I miss something? I would kind of assume no, but I don't know if, like, you know... you'd sort of assume that there was some... I mean, I guess that's like... Yeah, I mean, you'd assume, but maybe that's just transfer. What is unbound duration? Okay, so if you pay them money, here's some examples. Oh, that's the duration of the worker. I see. So my workers would be enormously, super short. They would potentially have a fair amount of data transfer in aggregate over the WebSocket. I don't understand the unbound versus bound with the requests, though. Oh, I see. You can bound. I see. Unbound really means you're just like... So you're set to unbound and you can change to bound. Is that true? Your job is to just show up and be like, you should use Cloudflare. Don't have a server ever again. Welcome to the cloud. Okay, so let's just say 1.5 million times. I don't quite understand what this metric is. Is this supposed to be per second? What does -s mean? Gigabyte seconds? I don't understand that number. What does that number mean? $5 million times total egress. Okay, this is what I was thinking of though, right? Is like, what's the total amount of data that goes out? Which that's the thing that you'd think about. Like that's the thing. That's all the WebSocket traffic. To a very low number of people though. So I think 20 gig we would never really hit. So that's so cheap. And then we would have no object store here, as long as we can still use durable objects. I wonder if durable objects have different pricing. Oh, I see. Yes. How much is it? Yeah, that's an interesting job. How much does this really cost? Yeah, because the those durable objects are in beta. I wonder if those will suddenly be... Oh, that's nice. They have a section called fine print. This sounds pretty good. And it sounds like this sounds almost perfect for the project that I proposed to processing, which again is just like a very easy way for people new to programming with P5 or with processing to quickly spin up without needing to know anything about what's going on the back end, like spin up simple services that can let stuff talk. The problem is all my proposals didn't scale. So in my proposal, I had to be like, maybe there can be a community hosted server, but it wouldn't scale very well. So maybe we have like buttons where people can deploy to Heroku or deploy to Glitch, where people can do self-hosted, but they can deploy easily. This might be cheap enough that the processing foundation could just pay for it. Like if it's really, and we could rate limit it. We could rate limit it so people couldn't abuse it. I think this is pretty good. Oh, really? You have a worker? Does the worker just spit out an HTML response or something? I can't believe life is yours. The Warren, life is yours, and Draklin. I just alerted myself. in Discord. I'm pretty good at Discord. I'm pretty good at computers. I just put my own name. And then now I'm trying to use Vim shortcuts in Discord, so it's going very well. Okay. Never mind. Binary hasn't returned. It says no. Okay, so this sounds good. Okay, there's one more catch. And that catch is how annoying is it to develop and deploy? Like, can you do any local testing, or do you have to like continuously deploy to... Jamstack. Jamstack is the weirdest stack name. You know, all the other stacks mean something or refer to something specific, but Jam is just like, I don't know, API, JavaScript, API. Whoa, geolocation. Where'd that come from? We did that thing once where we plotted stuff on a map, but the geolocation API wasn't good. So, okay, but how do you do it? How do you just push the deploy button? Great, deploy. Awesome. Well, I don't need a... I guess if it was set up where I could just push to... Yes, guide. Sign up for a workers account. Let's do it. I already have an account. Okay, so how do I do the thing? How about sign up for workers? Create my free custom. Choose your subdomain for Scott Garner's account. How about 838? There's always the fun gamble. Okay. Choose your workers plan. 100,000 requests a day. Cool. So I don't quite understand this unbound distinction, but I'm going to ignore that for now. And we don't care about, we don't even need key value pair stuff for this. Maybe we, you know, we had that idea of like charging bits for clicks and stuff like that, but didn't want to do any of the bookkeeping of who owns what. That might actually not be a bad job for the key value land. Here, okay, binary. There's one thing in here that just doesn't quite sit right with me. It's like not quite, doesn't quite sit right with me. And it's like, so this thing is deployed all over the place, right? It's deployed hundreds of data centers. And that data is going to come in. But how those durable objects directly stored the WebSocket sessions. So how does that work? If I'm like at one edge of the cloud, way over here, and that's where I've created my WebSocket connection, my WebSocket connection is in that durable object, they must just be smart. I guess they're just smart and do smart things on the back end and have some very smart way to make sure that over here when I connect to this edge of the cloud and I create a WebSocket connection, and over here when somebody connects and they want to broadcast and they look at the durable object and they see my WebSocket connection, even though we're like in data centers that are a million miles apart or whatever, 3,000 miles apart, it's going to figure it out. And there's no issue. There's no issue with that. Like somehow deep under the hood, they intelligently manage that, manage all those WebSocket sessions. I guess. I mean, they must. Oh my gosh, you got an adorable dog? You got an adorable dog. First of all, you got an adorable dog. Second of all, you posted it in the Life is Yours personal channel as like an intense flex. What a flex. Look at that guy. Adorable. That dog has nicer furniture than any of my furniture. Why does that dog have such nice furniture? Yeah, obviously. I mean, of course. And you want to, obviously you didn't want to put the dog in Dracklin's car because the dog might get upset by Dracklin's, being in the car. Okay, we're going to go with the free plan. $30. I don't need that. I don't need unbound workers. Okay, that's what unbound means, is how long workers run. My workers are going to be very short. Do you think that durable objects can persist across workers? Like, in other words, are durable objects separate? So that's the Wrangler. I just wondered if I could have two totally separate, like multiple workers that were all sharing the same durable objects. Yeah, that's probably a thing I can do, right? Oh, so their solution is a web-based IDE. So you don't do any local development. Interesting. This editor doesn't have a dark mode. How are we going to deal with that? People are going to complain. Why would you make an editor that wasn't a dark mode editor in 2021? Outrageous. Who would do such a thing? Okay, so this is my worker's name. So what does this do? Okay. This says we get an HTTP request. We have all these fancy things, time, echo, whatever. We only will process hosts that we care about. Okay. An error. Well, whatever the request is. Yeah, there's the echo, the time. Okay. Save and deploy. Why does this keep disconnecting? Weird. Oh, wait. Is this the browser's dev tools that they've shown on purpose? Is that a thing you can do? Like, is it the actual browser's web tools that they have integrated into their page? Whoa. Cool. Send a request to test your worker's response. Send. So by default, we send time. If I say /echo, echo. Respond echo. Excuse me, what does that do? I don't know. I don't know what to look for. My brain power is kind of flagging today. I want to put it in. I want to put it in the web page. How do you put it in? There's got to be a way to do that, right? Maybe they just made their own? I don't know. It looks... I don't think so. Maybe this is just their own. And it has nothing to do with the browser, and they just made it look a lot like it. I mean, it really looks like it, though, right? I mean, it really does. There must be a way to do that. I did a bad job Googling. What is this thing called? I forgot what it's called. Developer tools. When you open... Wait, what do you mean? This is Edge. Should I be somewhere else? Oh, try Chrome. Oh, just to see if the developer tools look different? I mean, I'm using the version of Edge that is built on Chromium, so it would have the same developer tools, right? Yeah, it is the Chrome developer tools, I think. That's Chrome's, but I think the version of Edge I have is just Chrome. But try it in Firefox. I don't have 1Password installed in any other browsers though, so I can't easily log in other places. But I'll do it for you. Because this is weird, and I'm curious. I mean, we could just look at the source code and see what they did. But I think Firefox would have different ones. Firefox. One-time password. Visual Studio Code's debugger is not good. What language are you debugging? Because there might be better external options. JavaScript? Oh yeah, you're sunk. I don't know. Maybe there's another thing. Well, that's weird. This still looks like the Chrome debugger. Not. How'd they do that? Maybe. How do they do that? Interesting. You know, Dracklin showed me this crazy thing I didn't know about where you can just type the word debugger in your JS source code, and then the browser, you can trigger the browser's internal debugger instead of using the JavaScript debugger in Visual Studio Code. Or maybe that's what you're talking about. I didn't know about that. I almost never use debugging for JavaScript. I probably should. I just log everything because it seems weird. Okay, I'm definitely getting tired. I should definitely eat some food. Oh, I see. Yeah, so there's just like this. You can do it this way, and then why do I have DuckDuckGo? You're terrible. This JavaScript, yeah, this thing. Then you know, if you just do this, you just cram this in your code, then the browser will react to it, and then your editor doesn't have to know what's going on. Although I guess it can. I didn't know about that until recently. Okay. So I think I get it. I think. So we would have to turn on. We have to enable a durable object, right? That's not an out-of-the-box thing. My brain is tired now. I think I have to stop soon, and then maybe I'll pick this up tomorrow because this is very interesting. Durable objects. Okay, Cloudflare dashboard, workers, durable objects. So do we have to pick a? Can I go here? Durable objects. Oh. Oh man. Oh man. That's disappointing. 10 gig is fine because I don't need any persistent storage. Yeah, because I'm not storing any data. I'm only storing with the WebSocket sessions. And even though it seems like they didn't clean those up in the demo, I could easily clean those up. You know, we could have like some cleanup worker, I assume, that ran periodically, or just when the last person disconnected from a channel, you would just destroy its object. You know, I assume you can detect when there's a WebSocket disconnect. It's just annoying that you can't. I wanted to test it before deciding to pay for it. I guess it's only $5 a month to start with, but feels kind of lame that you have to pay for access to a thing that is beta just to test it. And I'm a little worried about this. This is actually what the oh no is. is what the price for those will be in the future. I bet it will not be used much. Well, no, you don't need to. I can use every other feature for free just to try it. Like my current plan is this plan, and it's rate limited to 10,000 requests, which is fine. I mean, it's definitely not a deal breaker, but it's just a little annoying that I can't just try it without giving them money. So, but I feel like they're cool enough to do it anyway. However, that said, I think I need to stop streaming because my brain isn't working because I started streaming after working on things. And Binary C, I'm just so excited that you stopped by. I'm angry at Life is Yours, who's clearly online, but is clearly not in chat. Grounded. Oh, I see. Why? Were China and Russia trying to attack you? Are you paying for DDoS attacks? I mean, given that when I won the runner up did not win. The when I was runner up for Heat, and when Twitch wanted to use it, they gave me like $1,000 in AWS credit, so I didn't really pay attention to how much Amazon was charging for Heat until that credit got all used up, and then suddenly it was like $50 a month with basically no usage or very, very little usage, just because the Elasticache is so expensive. So then I moved it to Heroku, and I'm currently paying $5 a month. But if we can rebuild it where it uses this, and that can be a template for the processing thing, which I hope I get, then $5 is fine. It's totally fine. Oh, right. You can visualize all your incoming traffic. Cool. Okay. I think I'm done. I look great. Why is my beard so gray just there and here? If you do this, I don't look old. I mean, I look kind of old, but I look less old. But then if you do this, I look really old. And then if you do this, I look 100 years old, 1,000 years old even. Okay, I am pretty into this. So I think maybe tomorrow or Sunday, we'll have a stream where we see if we can totally recreate Heat from scratch as a worker. But I don't want to use their editor. Maybe there's a way. I'm sure there's a way where we can yeah, they have a CLI quick start, so it looks like you can do stuff. Whoa, what happened? Oh, Binary C, thanks. And apparently the thing isn't working because you gifted a sub to Undefined, 2 Undefines, and Axio. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thanks for stopping by. I hope you come around again soon. So, yeah, I think I would... it's just hard. That was the problem with those Lambda functions on Netlify as well, is you have to have a deploy. But it looks like you can do it all from the command line, and you can publish. So as long as that publish is fast, then I don't think we care. As long as we can publish really fast and get immediate results, which I'm sure we can because it's Cloudflare. So I think it'll be good. Okay. It's very important. You got to fund those workers. Okay, I am gone. Binary C, thanks for hanging out. Ben, always a pleasure. Kyle, almost always a pleasure, except for when you force me to work like I'm prison labor or something. And anybody else lurking, thanks for hanging out. We will do more of this next time. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye.